All right, here we go.
Hello, hello.
Right, it's episode 27, what the last episode was. I'm trying to figure out what the episode was.
This one's 28.
This one's 28, and we're in episode, what will be number 2 of chapter 7. So this is the second part of chapter 7. We're in chapter 7 now, so of course chapter 7 was entitled Breakthrough. Of course, we lost my dad's trailer, and the trailer Rhonda lived in was, of course, basically just right next door. So it's still by my old stomping grounds, where I'd go out and walk the tracks over there and go out by the woods. Of course, it's also right down the scene where the murder was of my two classmates. But this had done come and gone and passed, so I went back out there one more time just to reminisce and kind of get one last look at it, so to speak. There was two big rocks at the base of the tracks when it opened up right before we got into the woods. So as I was walking out there, I figured I'd make one more last memorable joyride of a creation of poem, sort of poetic justice, so to speak, as a way to say goodbye to the place. Because, like I said, it was the last time I'd go there. And so I curated this fantastical world, fantastical view, this fantastical vision, as sort of a serenade to, say bye. This is what I came up with, by the way. Went out there, I had the radio, I had some music to listen to. And I was listening to music, and I started with the two rocks, and I just went from there. Two rocks in my jam box. This poem is called The Lone Figure. That's what the poem's called. You're not very...
What's the poem about?
It's like I say, it's a serenade to my stomping grounds. This is my way of saying goodbye to it. A lone figure with a jam box, walking along some old tracks. He looks off to the left of his vision to see two firmly placed rocks. He places his jam box on the ground. He then turns to face the rocks. A strange power extends from him, transforming the rocks into two females. The music on the box continuing to play, the women begin dancing in rhythm. The lone figure now turns toward the box, scrambles its elements. It's now a robot. The robot catches the fever of his own music as a train's whistle blows alertly. The lone figure simply stands firm. He lifts the front of the train in the air. The train becomes a sandworm as it buries itself in the ground and exits the ground behind him. It is once again a hefty train. The train has harmlessly passed. The lone figure exits the tracks as it heads towards the thick wood line. The terrain, however, is still too plain. He motions for the dancing jam box, and as he sends rainbow-colored streaks racing in all directions throughout the air, his jam box has now joined him at the wood line. A single red streak comes to a halt. It suddenly vanishes as all gets quiet. The rocks have returned to their normal state. The tracks as peaceful as they were before. There is no sign of human presence, for there is a distant sound of music. The sound grows more and more distant. the sound of the lone figure and its mysterious magic.
Sounds like an SCP. Like one of those mythical creatures. The Music Man.
That was the last time I visited that, and that was my ode to my old stomping grounds. Saying bye. Haven't been back since.
Maybe we should go back and say hi.
Well, our relationship is beginning to grow stronger, and we're getting more intimately involved. I would eventually move in with her for a little bit when I got my car going. When I got my another car going, move back out there, moved with her.
How many cars have you had?
I've had several.
How about you? When I was born, how many cars have you gone through?
I don't know. It's been
Mainly
a lot.
vans.
It's been a few. It's been a few.
A few of them were my fault, and a few of them were other people's fault.
Anyway, our with my background as of going to church, she wanted to try to get back into church herself. But I was all for it. I wanted to get back. I wanted to take the kids to church, give them the right direction. But of course, when you're already intimate with somebody, and then you try to restrain from being intimate with somebody, it's like you've already done the deed, and they don't want to do the deed. It's like,
What are you doing?
what are you doing?
I'm confused myself.
I understood that she wanted to do the right thing, but she should have done it in the first place. Instead of waiting until after it's already done the deed, and then decide she's not going to give
It's
in.
like having a one-night stand and going to see the priest afterwards.
Exactly.
It's like,
But anyway, that's how this going back and forth would start with her and our intimate relationship. Of course, the church was ran by a distant cousin of mine, which was a cousin of my dad's, Delton, and his wife. So there was more sort of a comfortable atmosphere. And we took up 2 pews, by the way, because of course she had 4 kids, and over her, and all the kids in the neighborhood would go with us. So we ended up having to take 2 cars. Yeah, we took 2 cars to church because we couldn't fit everybody into one vehicle. So she had a car she got through HUD, and I had a car that I bought with my money that from my job. And we used those 2 cars to go back and forth to church with the kids. Took up 2 pews. Ever so often, we would get intimate, but she wouldn't let me penetrate. She just let me slide it across the top. Don't slide it through, just between the, just not penetrate, but actually sort of grind each other, so to speak. And then sometimes she would let me penetrate. I'd be like, what the hell? We going to do it or not? We going to not do it? I'm not going to. But she couldn't resist it, though. She would give it time that we'd do it, and if we didn't want to do it, we'd half-ass do it, then we wouldn't do it.
I just read something kind of funny.
It was nuts. It was puzzling.
I just read something. Be trying to flirt. How safe, baby girl? Baby girl? What the fuck?
So, I kind of felt like I was in the middle of a tug of war. Do you want me here or do you not? Do you want to do it or do you want? What do you want from me? I mean, I know you want to do this, but we've already done this, so why can't we just go ahead and continue with our relationship while we're trying to do this? And she's like, and then okay, let's go ahead and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, God dang it, what the hell? You know? Anyway, eventually I turned 25 later that year. And she would bake me a cake and have it decorated by the kids. Yeah. She decorated a cake and had the kids decorate it. They're growing more, and of course the kids were growing more and more fond of me. The kids were getting closer and closer, especially the little girl. The little girls couldn't get enough of me. Little Heather. She just couldn't get enough of me. So this church thing going back and forth, and the intimacy going back and forth, I came up with the poem "Tug of War," because that's what it felt like. It felt like a tug of war. Do you want me? Do you not want me? You want me here, or do you not want me here? Yada 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 yada. It's nuts. So that's what this tug of war is all about. Your emotions being yanked around left and right, and spinning in circles, and she couldn't decide what she wanted. So tug of war. Here we go. You want this, I want that. I want this, you want that. Who's right and who's wrong? But who's wrong or who's right? It's really complicated, you see. Why can't we just be free? Love each other the way we should, as was always meant to be. I love you. You say you love me. But it's hard to believe and trust when you show none back. Sometimes it seems you don't care. You want to break up, but you don't. You say you are wrong for me, but yet you don't want me to leave. You wouldn't blame me if I left. You say, though, that it would hurt, but I know you cry and that you try. We don't have to make love together. We can just hold each other tight. Patience is growing so thin. Time is beginning to run low. Please, show me something positive. I'm on my knees. I beg of thee. You can sell in the poem. I'm getting kind of frustrated. that's how it's meant to be. That's how it's meant to be interpreted. It's frustrating. Well, she didn't want to hurt me, but she didn't want to be hurt. She didn't want to hurt the kids. The kids wouldn't let me go, especially Heather. Heather refused to let me go. Even we split up a couple times. She was the one that brought me back, because she said, I want Dad back. I want Dad, because I was her father figure. That was the only father figure she was ever known. So she was just, yeah. Like I said, the roller coaster started, as you can see.
And it's a bit wild. It's like that one ride, the Gauntlet.
Yeah. It goes in corkscrews and up and down and over and over and dip and doop and ah bah hoo, and it just goes nuts. And of course, with any relationship, there's always some outsider that decides to try to throw a monkey wrench into it. Of course, this brings in Greg. Before he passed away a few years later, but when he was still alive, like I said, he still had parts of the story.
Hey, Dad, you want to hear?
Even though I already covered the part where he passed, because of the poem we wrote together.
You want to hear something funny?
What?
British people having sex be like, oh heavens, scrumptious. Yes, splendid. I'm arriving. It's Tuesday, isn't it?
I'm trying to tell a story, and he's just making jokes over here. Anyway, back to my story. Anyway, he told me that someone that told him that somebody was going over to the house to visit, and what were they doing? We don't know. But apparently they've been doing it for quite some time. So I went over there and one day and I confronted her about it. And we went in there and we talked about it, or I tried to talk about it, and she took it the wrong way. And it made her angry. And she was screaming, yell, "Get out! Get out!" she said. And I didn't want to leave because I was curious. I wanted to know what was going on. Oh, I'm fucking everybody, I guess. I'm just bringing guys over. I got my kids all here, and I'm just fucking him, fucking them. And she just went off. And eventually, Greg kind of came back there and tried to coerce me out the door. And it will be our first big split up. She said that some guy was that somebody was coming over there, but she didn't fully admit to something happening, and I couldn't really pursue it because she was too busy trying to force me out the door. She said it was over, and so I ended up leaving, going back to Grandma's. I never found out exactly what was going on. I never found out exactly what happened. It may have been just a friend of hers coming over for a visit every now and then, or something else could have been going on. But
Well, that was
3 months later, she would, of course, we went 3 months. It was a 3-month breakup. She'd call me back, try to reconnect as friends. I didn't bring it up. I just let it go. It wasn't worth it. So I dedicated this poem to her during the breakup. I didn't want to be ugly or hateful. I wanted her to understand I still have feelings for her. But the only reason, like I said, the main reason she called me back 3 months later after the breakup was because of Heather. The boys were kind of mad at Heather because they were irritated because they just got through the Donald thing. And now they're having to deal with this situation here. They wanted this, because they figured it was another Donald situation. Of course, that was the name of her ex-boyfriend, Donald.
All right, kids.
Are you serious?